All right, I'm here again. I just did the day 2 part 1 problem, and I just realized that even though I got the problem correct, I kind of fucked up everything with my files here. So actually in this part1.py file, I did parts 1 and 2, and then I actually did day 1 part 2 in my part 2 file. So let me just fix this real quick. So this should only be part 1, which was with only adding 2 of these. So get rid of this. Like that. And also this. So if let me just run that again. That's the same answer that I got last time, I remember. And this part 2 is not actually part 2. So let me rename this. Let me move it into a different folder, to a folder I'll make part number 2. So I'll move, is that a command in Windows? Yeah. Move part2.py to up one directory, then 2/part1.py. So if I have ls .. /2, it has part1.py. Cool. And then part2.py is pretty much the same as part 1, just one thing changed. So because of that, I'm gonna grab everything here. Let's grab everything and paste it in. And then I'm just gonna change that one thing. So for k in range length data, and I'm going to multiply by data k, not multiply. Here is multiply. Add. And then let me run that to make sure I get the right answer. Uh-oh. Oh, there's a typo. That's supposed to be data k, not data j. Yeah, that's the same thing as last time, I remember. So that's day 1, and I'll go into day 2. And I just did that. Let me run it. I did that in the last video. Let me just run it to make sure nothing changed. I need to put that there, input 2. Right. So then move .. /1 input2.text to input.text. So then if there's only one input per day of the month, we don't actually have to rename them, call any of them input2. They can just all be input.text in the right folder. Okay. Now I'll make a new file for part 2. Cool. So part 2 then. Okay, so now it's not a range anymore. Now it means exactly one of those must contain the given letter. Okay. So part of this is going to be very similar. Like for example, the part where I'm probably going to use a regex, I would imagine. And I'm definitely going to need the data. And I'm sure this will be useful. So I'll copy all that. file. Okay, and then let's loop over it. So for password in formatted, and then let's get all the values we need. So the password is password, and then it's not really called a minimum anymore. Oh well, actually we can call it a minimum. It's kind of like the minimum index of where it could be. Yeah, so minimum is password minimum, maximum is password maximum, and then there's the character password character. Okay, so we want the occurrences. I believe that was, I forgot what it was, so let me see how I did it last time. So it was a list, and inside that list we have m.start for m in re.findIter char password. I called it character this time, but char is shorter, so let's stick with char. And let me make sure that works. So I'll print out occurrences. And let's see if we get some sensible output. No, yeah, it's not input2.text anymore. It's just input.text. Oh, that needs to change actually for part 1 as well. So we'll go to line 3 and changing quotes. Input.text. Cool. Let me run that. Make sure it still works. Yeah. And line 3, changing quotes, not changing words, changing quotes. Input.text. Cool. So now let's try to run that. I have to type it in. Python part 2. Okay, so that's some pretty sensible results. So first thing to check is I'll for index in occurrences. Then we want to check. Oh, and no, they are already integers. I was going to say minimum and maximum are still strings, but no, they're integers like we want to do. So then we want to say if index is not in range minimum. I think I need to do maximum +1. Or can I even say that? Let me see. 3 in range 1, 9. True. 3 in range 5, 9. False. Okay, I can't say that, but what if I say 3 in range 1, 3? False. Yeah, but then if I do 3 in range 3 + 1, true. Okay, so we want maximum +1. And then the minimum +1 we don't need, right? So 4, 3, not 4. 3 in range 3, 4 should be true. Okay, so it's minimum and maximum +1. So if it's not in that range, then we can break. It's been so long since I've used something like a break, but I think break should just end the for loop, right? A little rusty. Let me see. For I in range 1 to 100, say if I equals 15, break else print I. So it should print up to 15 and then stop. Yeah, cool. So the break, that's what we want. And then if it is in the range, then well, maybe we just do it like this. Maybe we just loop over first and then check that all of those are in the range. And then if so, if that's you know what? This is what I'll do. Make a new line here. Valid. So by default it's gonna be true. Here we break and we say, before we break, we say valid equals false. Else we do nothing. I'm not gonna worry about checking the other thing inside the loop. I'll do that outside, right? And then I'm just gonna say for index in range minimum maximum plus 1. So this will go through all of the numbers, all of the integers in that range, and then we're gonna check. We're just gonna say if index not in range. No, sorry. We're gonna check that if index not in the current set, I think. And then we say valid equals false. And we break. And at the end, if valid count plus equals 1. Okay, so let me see if this makes sense. So first we go through all of the indexes, all of the occurrences, and we say if that occurrence, if the index of that occurrence is not in the right range, then it's not valid. Cool. And then assuming that all of those occurrence indices were in the right range, then we do the other check to check that we have an occurrence in all of the indices in that range. Yeah, and if both those things are correct, then it's valid. This should be fine, I think. So we can print the count at the end. I get 3. That seems pretty small, but let me try. Yeah, it's not 3. Let me see. One more time, if I make sure I read it correctly. Oh, yeah. So they're using this weird indexing. Yeah, they're indexing from 1 instead of from 0. True. So okay. In that case, just have to add 1 somewhere. So let's see. If they're counting from 1, then I just have to add 1 to all of the occurrences. Yeah. So I'll do that right here. M.start plus 1. No. Run it. I get 8. Still seems pretty low to me, but maybe not 8? Really? Let me print out this. Print this out. Print occurrences. Yeah, that does work. So why doesn't that work? Think about this. So we find all the occurrences of that character in the password, and we use their way of indexing from 1. Cool. Exactly. Oh, it's exactly 1, not all. Yeah, I misread it. I thought I was thinking that all of them have to be there, but no. And we don't need this other check either. We don't care about here. This one we don't care about, I think. Yeah, this we don't care about. So I can get rid of these lines. And in this case, I'll default it to false. And then let's say here, index count is 0. Probably don't even need the occurrences then, because this seems probably easier to do if I just do it like this. So the character is password password what am I doing? Index. But wait, then we need to do the indexing from 1. So position 1 would be position 0 for me. So from minimum to maximum. So if they were indexing by 0, then this would be fine. I just need to... No, do I add 1 to my index? I don't think so, because if I add 1 to the index, I'm never gonna check like the first one, for example. Oh, the minimum. Yeah, the minima and the maxima. We just need to subtract 1 from all of those. That's where we should do it, not here. So -1, -1. That should do it. So now the character is password index, and then we just want to see if this character is equal to the char, then index count should be increased by 1, and at the end, if index count is equal to 1, then count plus equals 1. Or then we can say, yeah, I'll just say count plus equals 1, and then we don't need this valid variable anymore. Key error 0. Yeah, it's not password. It's password all the way. Not the abbreviation. Yeah, 226. That seems more reasonable. What? That's so sad. For real? I was so sure it was gonna be correct now. Okay, let me look at this. Does it make sense to subtract 1? So, if they say it should be between indices 1 and positions 1 and 3, then for me that's actually position 0 and 2, so I should subtract 0 from the minimum and the maximum. That makes sense. Yes. And then here I found, I'm not actually using this list of occurrences, so let me get rid of it. So I say index count is 0 for index in range minimum to maximum plus 1, because I need to include the last one. Yeah. Then I get the character at that index if that's equal to the target character. Increase index count by 1 if index count equals 1. Increment count by, that seems correct to me. Don't understand. Let me reread this again. Describes 2 positions in the password. Exactly 1. Oh my god, they're not. I should just spend like a few extra seconds making sure I read the question correctly, because it's not asking for a range. It's just, yeah, it's easier than that. It's just asking for there to be exactly 1 occurrence in one of those 2 positions. God damn it. So, well, actually I can keep the for loop, why not? And then we're not going to loop over range anymore. It's just going to be minimum, maximum. 308. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, I guess you just gotta read stuff properly, yeah? Is there anything for day 3? No, day 3 is not yet. Okay. So that's day 2 finished then. Videos 23 minutes. Yeah, I'll upload this to GitHub if anyone wants to look at the code. Probably put the GitHub repository link in the description. And if you watch this, then, well, thank you. Thank you if you watch all the way through. See ya.